Hello again. Today we're going to take a look at something a little bit different from me, and we're going to edit some dog portraits. Okay, so these have been sent to me from a friend of mine, brilliant photographer, just needs a little bit of a hand with editing. Okay, so this is more for her to give her some ideas on how to edit, but I thought it would make it a good video because this will work with portraits, it'll work with wildlife, it'll work with a lot of subject photos. Okay, and what we're going to do is essentially we're going to edit our subject and our background separately and then blend them together. Okay, so the first example that I've got here, absolutely brilliant photos by the way. So here's a dog at sunset, and the whole idea of this was to be able to get the dog lit up but keep our sunset as well. So I've spoken to her about using some flashes, either on camera or off camera flash. It's pretty much the only way that you're going to be able to achieve that effect of having your subject lit up but still capturing that sunset. Okay, apart from shooting with the sun behind your back, but then you lose a lot of that color. Okay, so she's done a great job at just capturing all the detail, and that's sort of what I'm about. Capture the detail and then we can process it. So this one here, this one, it doesn't need as much work. Okay, this is almost perfect straight out of camera. This is a raw file. So this one just needs some little adjustments. So what we're going to do is, the way I like to do this, now this isn't going to be a full workflow. This is just to give you some ideas of what you can do. So I might overcook them. I might process them a bit more than we need to. But the first thing I like to do is just deal with our subject. Okay, so I'm not looking at the background at this stage. We're just looking at our subject. So in this case, I'm going to use the Adobe Landscape. That's just going to give us a little bit more dynamic range and a little bit of color. And color can be good with wildlife. Okay, now I'm just going to increase our exposure a little bit. Now I notice this paw is very bright, so I'm just going to bring down my highlights a little bit just to get some detail back in that paw. Okay, now got to be careful with any sort of a black animal, whether it's something with black fur, a black bird. You don't want to overdo your shadows, okay, because then you just kind of wash out all that, the blackness. Okay, so we just want to lift our shadows just a little bit. Okay, so somewhere around about there, and then finally probably just add a little bit of contrast. Okay, like I said, not a full workflow. This is more about blending our images. Okay, so got my subject to where I want her. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my masking tools and I'm going to select background. So if I select the background, it should isolate our subject and select everything around it. Now if this doesn't work, what you can do is select subject and then invert the mask. Okay, so you've got a few options there, but yeah, try background first. As long as your subject's pretty well isolated, Photoshop and Lightroom do a really good job now. Okay, it's one of the features that's come in the last couple of years, and it makes life a lot easier. So as you can see, it's done an almost perfect mask. Okay, in fact, that's as good as a mask as you're going to get. So what we can do now that we've got our mask selected, if we bring down our exposure, for example, okay, now we can just darken down the background a little bit. Okay, now doing it this way, I highly suggest you don't go too far, okay, because as good as it is, it's not perfect. You're going to see a little bit of, you'll see the background bleed through, okay. When I get to the next image, that one will be more for Photoshop and we will get a nice smooth blend with that one. But with this one, we just want to bring down our background a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce my exposure just a little bit. Another good idea is if you bring down your highlights, that'll kind of take the sting out of the background. But then it also takes all this contrast and this white water and just flattens everything out. So what we're going to do is just lift our whites, and that's going to bring all that white back into the water. Okay, so if we look at our before and after, so there's before and there's after. So as you can see, it's really brought out some detail in our background. Okay, now this is where personal preference comes in. So now that we've done our edit, if we grab our amount slider while we're on this mask, if we grab our amount slider and we can take that all the way back to 0, and there's our original file. and then we can just slowly dial in how much we want. Okay, so that's a good way of going from like a realistic looking image to just giving it a little bit of wow factor. Okay, so don't be scared to over process, and then just dial it back to your liking. Okay, so you know, if we take this up to here, for example, now it's a bit too much, so then we just dial it back to roughly where we want it. Okay, so that's a really good, very handy masking technique. And yeah, I always start with my subject first and then do the background secondary. Okay, because our subject is number one, background is secondary. Okay, so and then if we have a look at our before and after, okay, there's our original raw file, and that's where we've taken it. Okay, and that's without doing any other adjustments. Okay, we can still do levels and curves, and there's lots of other things we can do to it. But a really good starting point, just to bring your photo a little bit more to life, just give it some more detail. So very easy. All this can be done in Lightroom. So Adobe Camera Raw, Lightroom, Photoshop, they work the same way. Okay, now the next image we're going to get to, this one's going to be a little bit different, because if I'll just quickly show you. If we bring up our subject, so I'm going to bring her up by about 2 stops. And now if I try to do the same thing here, because we've got such a high contrast image, so we've got a black dog against a white background, the blending just doesn't work quite as nicely. So as you see, if I start to bring this down, okay, and the more I bring it down, you start to see that it's not perfect. Okay, so there's areas in the fur that it hasn't selected. It's done an okay job, but not perfect. So this is where Photoshop comes in. So what I'm going to do is reset that back to normal. Okay. Now, once again, all I'm looking at this stage is my subject. So again, I'm going to use the landscape. That'll bring back a little bit of detail, a little bit of color. Okay, so similar to what I did before. And this part, this is all personal preference. Okay, you edit it to where you think looks about right. To me, it's just a bit of green in there. Okay, so that's looking pretty good there. Now, because I've lifted my exposure by 2 stops, we are going to introduce a fair bit of noise. So normally I would use the denoise, but for the sake of this video, you're probably not going to notice it in YouTube. We'll just add some old school luminance. Okay, and that looks pretty good there. Okay, so now we've got our subject sorted. What I'm going to do is open this in Photoshop. I don't want to use the tools in Adobe Camera Raw. We're going to get a lot more detail and a much smoother blend if we do this in Photoshop. Okay, now I don't use smart objects. I'm just going to go back and reopen my original raw file, and now what I'm going to do is process that exact same raw file, but this time I'm only looking at my background. So I'm literally using that exact same photo, but I'm processing it twice. Okay, so this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to overcook this one just so we can sort of see what's happening. I'm just going to add a heap of color into our sunset. Let's boost that right up. Okay, and again, this isn't a full workflow. This is just to sort of give you some ideas. And I am going to overcook it just so we can sort of really get an idea of what's going on. Let's add some saturation. Okay, so now I'm going to open that one into Photoshop. So we've got 2 images. We've got one with our background, and then we've got one with our subject. Okay, so, you know, it's one of those things where if you want to get the best of both worlds, you do need a flash. Okay, you need a flash either on camera or off camera just to light up your subject. But this is a cool way of blending these 2 images together. Okay, now with my move tool's up here, the top left hand corner. I'm just going to click and drag my image, and then if I hold the shift button and then click and drag, it's going to place it directly over the top of my other image. Okay, so now I've got 2 layers. I've got my background layer, and then I've got my subject layer. Okay, so this is where the magic starts, and I'm going to keep this simple and effective. Okay, there's probably better ways of doing it, but this is simple and very, very effective. Okay, what we're going to do now with our top layer selected, we're going to go up to select, and we're going to select subject. Okay, and what that's going to do, it's going to create a a mask similar to what we did before. We've created a mask, and as you can see, it hasn't done a great job. Okay, it's missed out on the pore. If I just zoom in, okay, it's a good starting point, and that's all we really need at this stage is a starting point, because what we're going to do is actually create a mask. So if we go over to our lasso tool, so this tool here, you may be on one of these, so it's the third one down on the left hand side. You should see this option appear, select and mask. So I'm going to select and mask, and now you're going to see this screen. Okay, so this is our masking screen. So similar to what we were using in Adobe Camera Raw, but much, much better. Okay, now as far as the properties go over this side, this is just a general starting point. Okay, so if you just pause the video at any time and just check what I've got set up here. But basically remember settings, so then whatever I do here, it's going to remember exactly. So next time I come in, I don't need to change anything. Okay, I have object aware selected. I have radius at 2 pixels. I have smart radius selected, smoothness at 10, feathering at 1 pixel, contrast at 0, and shift edge at -5. Okay, now the important one here is the output. And what we want to do is do a new layer with layer mask. Okay, so as long as your panel looks very similar to that, that's a good starting point. Okay, from there over to our top left hand side, we've got a few tools up here. Okay, so the first one is just our general selection tool. Okay, so this one can be good for when we miss places. So as you can see, the mask, it's done an okay job, but it's just missed the pore. So by default, there'll be a little plus. And if we just paint over that pore, it will select that. And now we've got the pore selected. Okay, you can see here it's selected a little bit of a rock. So if we hold our Alt key, now we have a minus. So we can take that rock out of the selection just by painting it. Okay, so that's your quick selection tool. You can either add things in. So by default, the plus will add things in. And if you hold your Alt key, that will take things away from the selection. Okay, but where the real magic happens is the next one down. This is our Refine Edge Brush tool. So if we click on this one here, this is going to refine the edges. And all we're going to do is click and drag around the edges, especially where the fur is. And this works really good for portraits too. Okay, so I'm just going to go around the edge of our subject. And this, it will take a while. Okay, and then once it's done, just let it think. Okay, and as you can see, it's made that selection much nicer. Okay, now you've got areas like this, you can paint, the more you paint over it, the more it will refine that selection. Okay, so maybe these bits under here, we might just repaint them as well. Okay, up there looks fine. Okay, so now we've done that, we've refined our selection. Now we're going to hit OK. And look at that, that's already done the selection. So what it's done, because we've created a new layer with a mask, what we can do now is we can mask bits in and out that we might want or not want. Okay, so at this stage, yep, look, over processed, but we're not finished, so stick with me. Now to make this look a little bit more realistic, what we're going to do is we're going to select that mask. We're going to grab our brush tool, which is over here, and we're just going to turn the opacity to our brush down to around about 10%. Okay, so we want a very soft brush. We're going to select a white brush, so we can just either X on the keyboard, we'll switch between black and white, or just here we can just select a white brush. Just check that you've got a soft brush, so if we right click, you're going to see this little box appear, and just check that your hardness is down at 0. Okay, and then square bracket keys, we can either make our brush bigger or smaller. Okay, and what we want to do is make our brush nice and small to start with. And what I'm going to do is just zoom in down on the feet. And now with a nice soft white brush and this layer mask selected, what I'm going to do is just click, and you'll notice that I keep clicking. So every time you see a green dot, I'm holding my mouse down, and then I'm just, every time I click, it's basically masking that 10% opacity. Okay, and what we're going to do is just paint the top of these rocks and it's just going to make our blend look a little bit nicer. Okay, you can even paint on this one a little bit, and yeah, because we're only at 10%, it's painting in very lightly, so it'll take a few passes to get there. And you know, if you want to get really accurate, get in there nice and close and have a good play around. But if I now just hide that, okay, look at that. So now we've brought in a bit of light on the rocks as well as our subject, so that's just made it blend in with our background a little bit better. Okay. And the good thing with having a mask is now if I click on this layer here, now we can see both layers. Okay, so I'll hide the top one. So now we're back to our original. We've got our background, we've got our foreground, and now we've got this mask. And what we can do from here to get, you know, like if we hide that, there's our in your face over the top exposure blend. But if we just highlight this one and we take that opacity all the way down, and we can just sort of dial it back to where it looks a little bit more natural. Okay, so you know, it's a good idea to over process your images just so you can see what you're doing, and then just with your opacity sliders just dial them up or down. Okay, so we could, you know, if the sky's a bit too over the top, just start to bring in some of that original image. Okay, if your dog's too bright, take this down, and then that'll blend in with the darker image. Okay, so that's how you get a very accurate and natural blend. Okay, rather than just going for the in-your-face blend where, you know, a really dark background and a really bright subject. Okay, just use your layers and then start to blend them together. Okay, to get the desired effect that you're looking for. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. So that's how easy it is to go over the top, really overdo your image, and then just with your layers, just slowly dial them in or out to get them to where you want them. Okay, and then at the end of it, once you get it to roughly where you want it, then you just go up to layer and then flatten image. Okay, and then you've got a starting point. Okay, so there's our raw file, and there's what we've done just with a very simple selection. Okay, so that's about it for this video. So again, not a full workflow, just to give you some ideas on how, you know, don't be afraid to over process your image, but then just dial it back. Okay, blend all your layers together and get that more natural look. And as you can see, that selection it's spot on. Okay, if anyone was to say that's been cut out and pasted, their eyesight's better than mine. Okay, that's that is a perfect blend as far as I'm concerned. We've got plenty of detail in our background, got plenty of detail in our subject, and compared to where we started, a very flat raw file, a beautiful photo, but yeah, just with a little bit of editing, you know, and then from there we can do curves and we can do all sorts of things to really bring it to life. Okay, so yeah, that's about it for this video. Have a play around with that masking technique. It is very good. So thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. I will hopefully be back out in action shortly. So I want to get back into some live streaming some sunsets and sunrises, and who knows, we might even do a live dog portrait session. Okay, I got lots of plans. I want to really start pushing live streams. So if you subscribe, you'll get a notification when I'm about to go live, and see me actually out on location taking photos rather than the editing side of it. So thank you again, and I hope to see you shortly.